Barbados, get up.
Good morning Barbados, good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning Barbados, good morning to you. Good morning Barbados, good morning.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Morning to you.
Indeed, good morning to you today and welcome to Wednesday, the 9th of July 2025. My name is Pearson Bowen. It is so wonderful having you company indeed. Thank you for waking up to keep us company too. And for those of you watching us on our streams on Facebook, YouTube, or our website, cbc.bb, to each of you, we say thank you. Thank you very much indeed for joining. I ask one thing of you, share the show. Share the show. So click, boom, share, click, boom, share. And so as you do so, you're bringing others along to engage in what we do with you every single weekday morning, Monday to Friday from 6 in the morning for just a couple hours. It is going to be a great start to your day today. So I encourage all of you to tell others about us and bring them along. And I thank you for doing so. Remember always, if you know of someone whose story you believe we need to tell or a story we need to share, then you just give us a hint. Send us an email. That email address is morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And to all of you who do so, we say thank you as well. So how do you do today? It's a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. Watch your perspective on life. Watch your perspective on life. If you engage in negative, negative will attend you. If you engage in positive, naturally, positive will also attend you. So, watch your perspective on life. That's a little word of caution for you today. Remember today, the National Cultural Foundation, as they prepare to ramp up preparations for Carry Festa 15, they're inviting dancers 14 years and older with at least 2 years minimum of experience to come audition. You need to register though at the NCF at 3 o'clock this afternoon to be on location for 3, and then the audition starts at 4. And they're looking forward to seeing all of you at your whatever skill level you are. Good morning to Patricia Ben. Good morning indeed. She extends the very same to all of the crew and to all of you. We extend the very best as well. Anthony Smith, as usual, good morning to you, sir. Have yourself a lovely today. So if you're a dancer in ballet, jazz, modern dance as well, so you're invited. You have a little voice to sing, great. Auntie Faye, good morning to you as well. She's saying good morning to the viewers everywhere as well. So it's at the NCF this afternoon, 3 o'clock registration, 4 o'clock the audition starts. No jeans. No jeans. So dancers should be preferably attired in leotards or tights or comfortable clothing, but no jeans. No jeans at all. If you need to know more, look at the information there on your screen. You can email Don Lisa Calendar Smith at donlisac.carryfestabarbados@gmail.com. So do so and good luck to all of you. They're looking for people for the opening and closing galas as well. Roosevelt Bacco, good morning to you in New York. Have yourself a lovely today. He sends from the Bajan Yankee, a very good morning indeed. How do you do, Sandy Field Kelman? Sandy, good morning to you. Blessings to you as well. She extends the very same to Barbados. Sweet Ron's, wonderful Wednesday morning to you as well. Keep up those exercise movements. She encourages all of you. Me included. All right, Sweet Ron's, I'm guilty as charged. But thank you so much for helping us to age gracefully as you do. And thank you for the reminder as well that we need to pay attention to how we care for the vessel that we exist in. Now, I'm ready to give you a riddle. That riddle from yesterday remains unsolved. I asked you, what peels like an onion but still remains whole? What peels like an onion but still remains whole? And so far, none of you has been able to answer me correctly. So I'm patient enough to hear from you today by calling me on 228-5562 or 228-5563. Those are the numbers to call to see if you can solve this riddle. What peels like an onion but still remains whole? What could that possibly be? 228-5562 or 63. It's not a snake. We got that answer yesterday and it was wrong. So see if you can figure out the answer and give me a call. Now, coming up today on the show, when life's struggles attend even just one in the family, there's a bit of concern. That family is truly impacted, and so Family Fest exists to help us find solutions to resolving those situations. And so whether it's financial or it's by the abuse of a substance or whatever condition you're faced with. When it comes home, we have to deal with it. And so Family Fest will talk to us a little bit more about that in just a moment because they have another online session coming up. But I have a call. Good morning. Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I am all right. How are you?
You're just all right? I'm well, thank you for asking, but you're just all right?
Yes, please. I am fine. I'm okay.
Oh, that's a little bit better now. You're fine, you're okay.
Yes, please.
Did you have a really nice sleep?
Yes, I did.
How do you know that?
Because I went to bed early, woke up early.
So what time did you go? Just sort of,
comfortable.
what time did you go to bed?
About 8:45.
That's early?
Yes, please.
Okay. And what time did you wake up?
About 3:30.
And that's early.
Yeah.
Okay, that's late for me in my world. But okay, and for you that was a satisfactory sleep, or did you find yourself tossing and turning while you were sleeping?
No.
You can sleep right through?
Yes, please. In one position.
In one position?
Yes, sir.
And you don't wake up with aches and pains on that one side?
No.
Your bed is balanced?
Yes.
If you lie in one position all the time and don't move, your bed will sag.
No, not really.
No?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
You're just so comfortable in that spot, right? That's your sweet spot.
Yeah.
Fair enough, mistress. Who's calling or where are you watching us from?
Jackie from St. Peter.
Jackie of St. Peter. Good to meet you, Jackie, indeed. Thank you for calling. So, Jax, what is your answer?
It's a boiled egg.
Wrong. What peels like an onion but still remains whole, you believe is a boiled egg?
Yeah.
Logical, but absolutely wrong, Jackie.
Okay.
But you've done well. Thank you so much for calling, all right?
Thank you too. Thanks.
You're very welcome indeed. Who is next? I promise you I'll be gentle. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Now, coming up also today, when we talk about Family Fest, after that, we'll talk a little bit about the Queen of the South. Who's that? And what is that about? There's some people behind an organization that looks at one of our indigenous sports. And so we'll talk to them a little bit about the Queen of the South. Good morning. Hello.
49.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, please.
They're on the slow network. Good morning. Take them off if you can, and just advise it to just turn the volume down. Folks, when you call, the TV is not where the phone is. The phone is in your hand. So you listen to the telephone and you speak into the telephone. Do not listen to anything else. So 228-5562 or 63. Now, what are some of the proposals surrounding children and adolescents as it relates to the amendments to the Mental Health Act? We want to dig into that this morning. What are their rights? What are some of the protections to be built in so that we do not find our children being abused as a consequence of any amendment or any Mental Health Act? So we'll talk to the folks behind that in just a moment. And the Northern Alliance, they are about creating music from afar, from North America. And so they've released some music already for Crop Over 2025. We'll talk to some of the people behind that alliance who are creating for Bajans to consume. So just a little taste of what's coming up today, but I'm waiting on you. What peels like an onion but still remains whole? So wrong in St. Peter, wrong somewhere else. 228-5562, 228-5563. What are you thinking? Perhaps you're absolutely right. And if I should give you a hint, it's a creature, first of all. It is a creature. That's a big enough hint for you. And it's a creature that a number of you run from. And it's not the snake. It's a creature that a lot of us see every single day, almost everywhere. Sometimes in the house, outside the house. I'm trying to give this away and somehow not give it away. 228-5562 or 63. Good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Sir, how are you doing?
I'm pretty okay for now.
Well, good to hear from you indeed. Thank you so much for joining us on CBC. Now, what's your name or where are you watching from?
Wesley, and I'm from St. George.
Wesley of St. George. All right, Wesley, you think you know the answer?
Are you hoping so? I'm trying.
Fair enough. Try on, my brother. Let me hear. What's your answer?
Mommy apple.
A mammy apple?
Yes, please.
You're serious?
I'm serious.
You have just caused my mouth to water. The mammy apple. When last have you had a mammy apple?
I think that was what you.
Pardon me?
That was about a week ago or something, sir. I had a lovely one.
Where did you find it?
No, well, It was given to me, so
Oh, you don't know the
that's
source. You just received the gift.
correct.
Listen, that is a fruit that is fantastic. I have not had that in decades. I mean, I don't mean just years, in decades. As a little boy, that was one of the fruit trees that grew near to where I grew up. And so, you know, we raided it. We raided it. Indeed. How was it though? Was it nice and delicious?
Very, very, very delicious.
Cheese or bread. So unfair, Wesley. But anyhow, you're sticking on Mammy Apple?
I'm still sticking out Mommy Apple.
You're not going to waver at all from Mammy Apple?
No, Mommy Apple.
Nothing that's crossed your mind other than Mammy Apple?
It just came to me, got to be a Mommy Apple.
Spell Mammy Apple.
Correct.
Spell it. Spell Mammy Apple for me. Spell the word. Got you good. Got you good. I don't even know where to start to spell that word. I've not seen it written anywhere. But nonetheless, Gregory, you are not right.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
I didn't tell you were wrong. I said you're not right. Thanks, Greg, okay? Good man. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Spell Mammy Apple for me. I'm so serious. M-A-M-E-E? I don't know. 228-5562 or 63. What peels like an onion but still remains whole? What do you think that could possibly be? Call me now and let me know. I am not resigning from this until I get an answer. And you know, this is now day 2. This question has been unanswered. And shame on you. Shame on you. For real. 228-5562 or 63. My little nephew, Noah, I'm sure he's up and watching. Little Noah, who's 3 years old, he said, you know, Mommy, I'm saying good morning to Uncle Pearson. He's not speaking back at me. So, Noah, I'm saying good morning to you, my boy. Hope you have a lovely day today, indeed, Noah. Have a beautiful morning, indeed. He's such a special child. So, 228-5562 or 228-5563. We're just one day away from when school closes officially for the students for their summer holiday to begin. And so I'm sure they're excited about what lies ahead in terms of weeks of doing, for them, literally nothing. I remember during summer holiday, we raided the gully because I know I'm a country boy. So the gully was right there. Into the gully we went for fruits. Good morning. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Hi. Good morning. How do you do?
I'm pretty good, thank you.
Oh, very good to hear. You're welcome. And what's your first name? Where are you watching from?
This is Beverly from St. James.
I know it's you. And you got it wrong yesterday.
Yeah, but I tried again.
Let me hear you.
When you said it's a creature and it's in the house, I thought of two things.
What?
So
Give me the wrong one first.
I thought of a roach.
You thought of a roach. Okay, and thinking of a roach, you're thinking it peels like an onion but still remains whole. Mm-hmm. You ever saw a roach being peeled?
No, when they're doing a business, I don't see it. I don't see them.
All right, let me hear you.
I just think it.
All right, so you believe that's the wrong one?
I know. I have two answers.
Right, and I asked you to give me the wrong one first, and you gave me cockroach, and you think that's the wrong one, right? So what do you think is the right one now? Let me hear you.
My second suggestion is a centipede.
Ooh, don't call that word, Beverly. Don't call the word.
We ran from it.
Beverly,
we ran from it.
Beverly, and they're trying to tease me here already. Don't say the word.
Oh, I recall centipede.
Are you going to say it again?
I recall that word.
Okay, have you not found that if you say the word, you see it?
Oh, well, I hope not, because they said it here now 2 times.
So if it turns up, it's not my fault.
Oh, my dear.
Are you afraid of them?
I'm afraid of getting stung by one, but if I see one, I'm going to try and kill it.
And if it should pick up speed and run towards you, what happens?
I'm using some spray.
If it picks up speed and comes at you, what do you do?
Hit it real hard.
If it picks up speed and comes at you, you're just going to wait for it to come to you to hit it hard?
I can shift and still try to hit it.
I scream hard and run, right? I keep people back.
I don't know if I do all
Beverly,
of that.
I am right. You will do all of that.
All right.
She gave up.
It don't make sense. I agree with you.
You know, because in every argument that you've laid down to me this morning, you have been wrong.
Oh, Lord about. You
Still
know,
wrong.
I am. If one thing you can say about Beverly is that she is persistent.
She is indeed. And you for that you get top marks. So try again and come back tomorrow, all right?
It's not a roach. It's not a
It's
centipede.
not a roach and it's
I thought
not,
so when you said
don't
it's a
say the
creature
word.
and you see it in the house. I thought those two things, but
And so those are not the only two things you see in a house, okay?
oh,
Think again.
it could be a spider then.
I'm not answering any further questions from you. Answers from you, Beverly. And that is also wrong. So don't come tomorrow with that, okay?
All right, my dear.
That is Bev. Have a good day.
I can still keep thinking.
I wish you well.
All right.
All right, take care
Bye-bye.
indeed.
Have a wonderful day.
Likewise to you. Thank
Bye-bye,
you. All
Dad.
right. Folks, that's it now. I'll take a break here. When we come back, we're looking into Family Fest. So stand by for that and more in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, see, Beverly, what you just did, you created a different kind of conversation with us on the set here this morning. 19 after 6, by the way. We're talking Family Fest right now, and I have with me, of course, the founded man, the energy behind Family Fest, Mr. Cornelius Bartlett. Cornelius, good morning to you.
Good morning, Pearson. Good morning, Barbados. Great being here. Looking forward
Good
to
man. And you brought along this beautiful lady, Alison Gotip.
Yes.
Alison, I know that you are into clinical services. You run the
Yes.
Verdun and Marina houses
Correct.
as well. So welcome. Good to see you again.
Good morning, thank you.
And so here we are. I know last night you were talking, today's Wednesday. Yes, last night you were talking about communications and so forth, right?
Yeah.
And I know part of your focus as you're rolling this out in this month of July is really trying to look at the dynamics of the family.
And the family destroyers.
And the family destroyers. And those things that really separate us when sometimes we just want to be united and knitted together as one unit.
Yeah.
But they're real and we have to confront them. And so how has it been going so far? I mean, we're just starting, really.
Well, it's been going off the chart, to put it bluntly. I mean, and that's the reason I invited Alison here this morning. Every year is good. But when I think it can't get any better, every year it gets better. If you were to ask me what I would wish every single Barbadian, every man, woman, and child could listen to these discussions. The kind of experts we have, like Alison here, the richness of the discussions, it is overwhelming in a positive way. And what I'm thinking is that once we can get the relevant sponsorship and support from persons to reach the thousands, because if you have a discussion like this of this quality and only 1,000 people view it, then Barbados has a population of nearly 300,000. It means that you're missing pretty much all of Barbados.
Yeah.
That's not even 1%. So I really would want to encourage everyone listening to go on YouTube, go on Facebook, enter Family Fest Barbados. Have a look at the amazing, life-changing content, the educational content that we have to help families. And because it's a panel discussion, the format is one that you can relate to. Even as I sat there, I'm a big family advocate, and I listened to the discussion that Alison was in and the discussion that we had last night. I don't want to call any names because if I miss any, somebody might want to choke me, right? But when I listen to these experts, I feel like a child in primary school learning for the first time. And I'm familiar with a lot of the information and family help information out there, but I think God is doing something special with Family Fest.
Right. And so we want you folks, Family Fest Barbados. I've been there, sing that. And so we want you to be there, see it too, and share it with other people. I keep asking, that's all we do. We share. We are so focused at times on sharing the negative that we miss the opportunities to share the positive. And so I started by saying, shift your focus, shift your focus, shift your focus. And you would find that your life experience shifts as well. And sometimes when you shift your focus for the negative, you will see your life experience shift in the negative. Shift your focus to the positive. Your life experience will shift equally. And so to engage in these series of online discussions with Family Fest Barbados creates for you a wonderful opportunity to begin, if not you haven't already done so, the process of shifting to positive. And so I encourage all of you to go online and look back and then come forward with us indeed. And so anything that is happening in society is going to happen in the house.
Yes. Of course.
For sure, we are people.
Actually, society's events really are reflections of the family.
And isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
We tend to think it the other way, that it comes from outside inside.
It starts inside first. And you remember I used the example last time. If you have a headache coming from a brain tumor, the pain that you're getting from that is really the symptom. So what is happening outside are really symptoms. What is happening in our society, whether it is in business, politics, whether it's in the street, relationships between people, whether it's in sports, cricket, whatever it is, it's really a symptom of the root problems that start in the family.
Inside.
Yeah.
And every parent wants to create a safe haven.
Yes.
Everybody wants to be in a safe haven. But Alison, that's not always possible, one. And then there are dynamics within that situation that create a virtual storm in a teacup.
Right. Correct.
So talk to me from where you sit, what you see that's really at the root of all of this.
Right. Thanks, Pearson. I think there's so many different things, but it is fundamental. The family, it starts with the family. And yes, Cornelia says that we're the experts, but we're from a family as well. I'm from a family. And there's nothing wrong with saying, I need help, I need to equip myself, I need to get the tools. And that's what Family Fest produces and looks to equip every single one of us, because none of us are an expert at life, and life continues to life, right? As they say. And the thing is it does start in the family. So when we look and question what's happening with the young people, as we like to say all the time, it's a reflection of what's happening in the household. It's a reflection as us as the adults, what we have taught, what we have inputted into those young persons. So when we look at something like substance use and we look at addiction and we say, well, it's drugs and crime, and we hear that cry all the time. A lot of the times it's really coming from the family and how we raise our young people. It is so important for us to understand that instead of, you spoke about it, Pearson, in terms of creating a safe environment, safe from the aspect that I must be able to express myself. What we tend to do sometimes, we see safety as putting in perimeters and not creating children of resilience, right? Being able to face adversity, being able to have the mental health disposition, the well-being to say, you know what, I need to adapt to change. And that's what, and then we have the social media aspect. So what happens is that we start creating young persons who don't want to feel uncomfortable, don't know what it is to feel uncomfortable, right? Don't know what it is to go through some sort of pain without using something external. And sometimes they use drugs, social media, because everything's got to be perfect, everything's got to be great. I can't feel pain. And that's what addiction is, the outward manifestation of pain going on the inside.
We sat in the space last week.
Yes, we did. We did.
And we looked frontally at addiction, Cornelius,
Yes.
and we saw how people who are into substance use are struggling, but they spoke of one thing. Each story shared one thing: family.
Family.
And it's just so funny how that all wove together in that way, because they were not having a group interview. Each person's interview was captured, and all of them said the same thing. So the breakdown of the family is at the root of everything. I know you like to talk about the hierarchy of the family as well, Cornelius. How do you see that playing into this discussion about drug abuse and deviance, really, and that would occur sometimes in society that comes from the family?
Okay, so let me give you a very sharp, candid type of example. If you went to our prison, you'd realize that the majority of the prison population is made of males. And if you were to drill down to the root of why the majority of those males are in prison, it's as a result of fatherlessness. Fatherlessness. The impact of fathers on the lives of children, especially boys, girls too, but the girls are not the majority that make up the prison population. But fatherlessness is the problem. We will have the symptom of basic areas of deviance. Those are just symptoms. So you talk about crime and violence. Crime and violence is not a problem. We talk about we have a gun violence problem. No, we don't. We have gun violence symptoms. We have a family problem. And when men and women start to stay together in homes, work this stuff out in terms of, that's what we're trying to do, get people to engage their minds. A lot of the issues that we're having is that we do not think enough. We go along almost on automatic pilot, and we get through every day, every week, every month, every year. Some of us die, and we don't ever become conscious of the value of the husband we have, the value of the wife, the value of our parents, the value of our children. There are people who are ignoring and neglecting children. That's why a lot of them end up on drugs. They ignore their children because they're trying to make all of this money. They're working 2 jobs. They're working from morning till night. And then you have fathers who feel injured by the, I would say, innocent, sometimes ignorant behavior of wives who are just playing out emotions gone rogue. Because I'm not convinced that women are bad or men are bad. I'm convinced that people just aren't getting it together because a lot of times we, and I'm including myself because I've made my share of mistakes as well, right? We are ignorant to a lot of things that could be different if we were not ignorant, and that's what Family Fest is about.
And so there's this looking at, sorry, I'm not dismissing what you're saying, Cornelius. Substance abuse and mental health, there's a connection somewhere there. So. And that's what at Verdun and Mornin houses you do. And so how do you get beneath the facade so that you really see the true picture to fix?
Yeah. So what's so unique about Verdun and Marina, when you look on the landscape of drug rehab facilities, a lot of them do treatment for 28 days. Barbados is one of the few places that actually do 3 months plus, because you've had 3, 4, 5, 6 years of using. It cannot be done within 28 days. So we have to unpeel all the layers. And as I said, looking at the pain as opposed to the addiction. The pain means that we've got trauma specialists, we've got experiential therapists, because sometimes persons aren't able to verbalize what's going on the inside, and it needs to be shown in maybe an art form, a creative way, as opposed to speaking about it. And it's really important for us to get to the root of that through, yes, the experts, through persons who are in recovery. And what's so key in what we do is connection. Because connection is what keeps persons clean. Connection is what keeps persons understanding. When you connect to yourself, a sense of awareness, connect to a higher power, which I choose to call God, and connect to other people, it allows you to build a character, right? And the insight and work on the inner man or the inner woman in terms of dealing with what's going on the inside. So it really is important for us to also have mental health specialists as well, because we need to say a correlation. And as I always say, the Just Say No to Drugs campaign was great, but that with the evolution of addiction, we've got to say more than just put down the drugs. And then what?
Exactly.
So I always say that person's come naked with their clothes on. Right, naked with their clothes on, because we need to start peeling away those layers, as you said, Pierce.
Yeah. At what point in treatment does the family become treated
Right.
as well? Because that individual reintegrates.
Yes.
One would hope, and so the family must itself be ready.
Right.
And
Exactly.
prepared.
So what we do is that we involve the family at the very beginning. Now you can appreciate that some of the families have resistance because they've been through that journey and they just literally want you to deal with the person and they're fine. But we really do encourage that. So we have drop-in centres, we have online family sessions, and what we do is to also understand within the family, because you've been so focused on this person who has a substance use disorder, you've forgotten how it is to interact as husband and wife. You've forgotten that I actually have a life outside of my child or outside of my partner, and it's important for us to give them a space to speak their frustrations. And what we found is iron sharpens iron. So we get the families together and they're able to normalize what they have gone through, and some are further stages than others. But at the moment that person comes into treatment, because we understand we need to treat the whole. There's some deficit in the whole, not just that one individual. We tend to, as a society, blame that one person and arms folded and say, well, it's him, rather than saying, did I contribute? What part do I play in all of this?
I'm hoping that in the treatment plan, there's that dynamic that says, because in the family, those that remain, the individual has gone off for treatment, there's the denial, and then there's also that blaming.
Yes.
It's the mother. It's you.
Yes.
You should have given him lashes when he was much younger.
Correct.
So now it's suddenly I have to deal with this.
Yes.
All of those conversations also occur. So it's wrecked. The whole family is just pulled apart. And this is what Family Fest is seeking to do. Let's confront this together as a unit known as a family. Let's be respectful in doing this as a family unit. But let's at the same time begin to heal by acknowledging our role in all of this and being honest and open about it, but be forgiving and compassionate at the same time. You nodding, a boy, you're nodding.
Yes.
You sound like a pastor or a preacher, man. You
don't start me up.
yeah, I'm loving it.
Yes.
But I think it is critical, and that's why I asked you, at what point does the family come into intervention here? Because it doesn't just happen with the individual; it has to happen with the collective. And oftentimes we think it's just those who live within the home alone. No, there are extended people who also who find themselves engaging with that space known as home, who also need assistance, because we're all here to help each other. We're brothers, our brother's keeper in this instance. And so, this is so interesting, Cornelius. Yeah. This is so deep, and it's so rich and so real. And so, for anybody watching today, I know we want to help. You know, where we sit on Mornin Barbados, and so how can we help tangibly? So that the work and the message gets out.
Okay, well, first of all, tangibly, we want to have more people come on board and sit on some committees and subcommittees. We have, I run a business, as you know, if I had a choice, because I need to be able to support my children and family and so on and so on, but if I had a choice between business and doing this work, I would do this work. Because I absolutely love the idea of seeing families stay together, watch people thrive, put a dent in drug use. In other words, I would love if every bit of drugs out there that would not sell. Imagine a world, I mean, this is probably utopic, but imagine a world where there was no need for drugs. People just stop using drugs, right? So what you could do to help is not only get involved, but also contribute. We have a program that we'll be starting, and you can start it now, where we are asking every citizen, from as little as $1, we're in the time now of very fancy banking platforms. Automate as little as $1 from your account every week, every month, every year, every 2 months, whatever. You can automate a small amount of money. It doesn't have to be big. You don't have to feel it. It doesn't have to stop you from paying a phone bill or light bill. Automate any amount to our Family Fest charity account. We are a registered charity. We account for all that we do just like any other charity. It's a very transparent organization, but we cannot reach the thousands without you. We need you as much as you need us. We see ourselves as a wheel in the middle of the wheel. We pull persons like Alison here and all the other experts. When you go on Family Fest Barbados on YouTube or Facebook, you see what we've been doing for the past 6 years. This is our year 6. And next year we want to do it really big because it's our 7th year. And as you would know, Pearson, 7 is a special number for completion. And I think that next year we're now going to become adults from next year, an adult organization.
So folks, you know, online, if you want to do your digital banking online, how can we do so?
Well, online, we have a Family Fest charity account with CIBC.
Right.
And I can give you the number. The number is 100-123-676.
123-2676.
Yeah, 100-123-2676. That could actually be in an ad.
Listen, the banker in me would say it differently. 100-123-2676.
You sound like an accountant.
The banker in me will do that.
Right. I'm a marketing man, so the marketing man in me will say 100-123-2676.
Bankers say it differently. So there's a rhythm to calling numbers. And so, folks, we want to encourage you as much as possible to give not just in kind, but in cash as well. Your support goes a very, very long way in effecting the change we all desire. I can't think of anyone who lives through life without wanting to make a positive impact. And so if that is your desire as well, make a contribution in person and in cash as well. Because
and I always forgot to say, if you want to write a check, and you know, I haven't written a check in a long time.
Here's your brother.
But if you want to write a check, you can write it to Family Fest Barbados. Right. That's the name of the charity. And drop it off at my office in Oystons.
In Oystons, you know it is.
Core Bar Business Solutions.
The old basics building, indeed. But you know, I really want to thank you, Cornelius, for the great work you're doing through this effort. 6 years on, and you're not tired, and that is good.
More energy.
More energy.
More energy.
Let's give him more energy by giving our support in kind and in cash as well. I thank you.
Thank you.
Alison, as always, it is good to hear from you.
Good.
You know, the perspectives Alison shared last Wednesday, we watched a screening of a documentary. And then afterwards there was a panel discussion, but Alison just brought such insight from her experience, and just by watching that documentary, so we all understood what we as a community are faced with when it comes to substance misuse.
Yes.
That's the word I'm going to use now. Substance misuse. And there are people, they're not problems. And so we have to, from this place called the heart, reach those people as well, so that we can help them and not see them as a problem. And that's what she was emphasizing as well. Understanding the family dynamic is critical, and that's what Family Fest does as well. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you,
very much. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Morning Barbados takes a break here. We're back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on CBC TV 8. Don't you miss it.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, He'll give you the people. Not only will He equip you with ideas, but He will equip you with favor, as He did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray, microbiome, probiotics, and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Hey there.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
17 down to 7 o'clock, and we turn our attention to the Queens of the South. Just kidding. We're talking here about the Garrison Historic Road Tennis Academy and Club, Inc. And joining me is their president, the one and only, Jackie Collis. Good morning to you, Jackie.
Well, good morning to you, Pearson.
Shall we sing good morning?
Good morning.
There you go. She has such a beautiful singing voice indeed. And we all know Kim Holder, who has been on that court for years and is in herself a queen of road tennis. Kim, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Boom. It is so good to see you.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome. And before I forget, thank you for your contribution to the sport. Thank you to the contribution of delighting crowds, showing us what is possible when you put your head to it. Well done.
Thanks a lot.
And then you gave it her. Rachel Smith, who is the 2025 Queen of the South. Rachel, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good to have you indeed.
Thank you.
Let's start with you, Jackie. Talk to me a little bit about the club and why it was formed.
Okay. Garrison Historics is a group of persons who used to play, who have been playing almost 15 years out by the now planning and development, the old Tonga Country Planning building, the car park. And I remembered when the European Union got interested in the development of it, that is when we saw the need to become structured. And from that is when we had our elections whereby I became president, and we started doing a whole host of stuff. Every year we host 2 tournaments. There's an all-male last man standing, and that's held in November. And then there is Queen of the South, which is the Easter weekend. And that is how I got, well, I knew Kim and Rachel from before, but a lot of persons would tell you that Isaac come here. But I mean, as a person, as a Bajan, growing up in a village, I draw road tennis court with my finger through in the dirt, that kind of stuff. So I have no problem at all wanting to help the sport develop, because much always say that, you know, it should have been further as our indigenous sport. I do agree with that, but then becoming and so involved in the administration of it, then I can tell why it is that, you know, you have remained where you have been. But there's a lot that has been happening, and one of those things is developing women in road tennis, and that is what Queen of the South, it is the only all-female tournament on island. And we, as a part of that, because the colors are purple, we chose purple. And one of the ladies in the club, she said, well, Jackie, why not partner? No, I decided to do lupus. Yes, because I have a girlfriend, because you should have a cause. So I have a girlfriend, Gail Proverbs, who's on the island right now. Good morning to you, Gail. And she has been challenged with lupus for quite a bit. So we said, well, we'll feature lupus warriors. So Gail Proverbs, she was the first one, and then last year, this year, for 2025, unfortunately, the warrior we focused on, Felicia Whitfield, she passed actually before the tournament happened. So we still did it, and it was beautiful. We don't have the trophy this morning, but Rachel is a person who has one that came up under Kim, and yes, she was successful this year.
I know you did a wonderful tribute to the lady who passed. I want to take a look if you have the video, because I did see the video before it came down.
Okay.
Of that tribute.
Yes.
Where it was such a beautiful expression.
Thank you.
Indeed, and so if you can, just share the video, so that people get a sense of what the club has been able to do to recognize those who've been a part of it.
So even regardless of where you live, and you would want them to be a part of the program SNATCH, okay? The acronym for SNATCH is Saving Our Neighborhood Against Crime While Teaching Our Children There is Hope. And the mantra for these boys is keeping them on court, is keeping them out of court. So whenever you go within the Barbados name, and where they're keeping these young men on court. I want to keep them on court. So right now I invite you, ladies and gentlemen, to file, and you go up the stairs and find somewhere on that green rail to tie that balloon in the loving memory of Felicia Winfield. For your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hand. From the moment that I wake till I lay my head, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. So my life you have been faithful. No, my life you have been so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God.
That's absolutely beautiful. Just goes to show the humanity of the club, indeed, and recognizing those who've been a part of its development, a part of its existence, indeed. And so that's just an example of what they do. But we'll get on the court and talk to some winners after this break.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're talking the Queen of the South Road Tennis Tournament put on by the Garrison Historic Road Tennis Academy and Club Inc. They're very, very official indeed. And so while Jackie's here as the president, she's also brought along the Queen of the South 2024. And we do have with us Her Royal Highness, the Queen of the South 2025, indeed. Kim, I'll start with you because, I mean, we know you. We know you as a woman playing road tennis over the years and just sowing people and having a good time in the sport. What is it that led you into the sport in the first place?
Well, from my community, from a young age in my community, we didn't have time for television. And basically, actually, they only had one house in the Gap that had television at the time. So we just play sports. My community was always an active community, just sports, right? So as I get older and older, we develop. I started playing road tennis since I was 10. Then as I get older, then I went on to play volleyball for Progressive Volleyball Club. And then from there, I went on to the Barbados national team. And then actually, I had hold off the road tennis for a while. And then by playing volleyball, then I told my boyfriend, Richard, the late Ian Cox. Richard also my coach, my mentor, everything. And I said to him, man, you know we could go back playing road tennis and use it as an exercise. We can warm up properly and then we can then go to volleyball when your muscles warm up. So that's how I actually get back into the road tennis then. So then my family, he came down and he just saw me playing. He said, man, you can beat some of these women. I tell him, well, I really bought no competition, I'm just playing it for the exercise now. Because it's just a fun basic, right? And why keep playing? I just play every day then. And the guy put me into a tournament. I never forgot it. And I think it was a tournament that a guy, I can't remember if he passed or not, Mr. Cutting. And it was in the sports council. And I told my cousin, you put me in the tournament, I told you just was going to have fun. And he said, man, you can be with me. So basically, I went. And all I had was a forearm at the time. I could just hit the ball, but I had a backhand. So then we walking, I said, man, I can show him I can beat Sandra Bailey. He may say, who's this girl that talking she beat Sandra Bailey? So I know I just spurring up, you know? Because basically I saw like Sandra Bailey as an old champion and stuff. And at the time I had a lady, Pauline, and the older women and thing playing. And I said, you can beat some of these women, though. But anyhow, I go on and the guy actually put me to play Sandra at the point in time. But eventually she beat me. She had beaten me,
And that was the beginning of everything for you, because you were now determined, that can't end so. And playing till I get a whole lot better. But you've done so well over the years, and you eventually became the Queen of the South in 2024. Were you able to defend your crown this year?
No, unfortunately, no. I was dethroned by Rachel.
Yeah.
But those things that happen in sports.
I know.
Right.
Rachel, you beat she bad? Tell me about that match. Do you remember that final?
It was the year in front, 2024. Usually when they play Kim, usually get a good run, you know, but she's always get over me.
Yes.
So people would call that, they would say that Kim is my ghost.
Yes.
Right. But I realized that Kim backarm, she said she didn't have no backarm, but Kim backarm dominates. Form is powerful, but backarm dominates. So I got to be able to match her backarm if I really want to beat her. So even I'm putting some work on my backarm. So this year, the results showed, and they won.
And you beat her.
They won.
You finally won. In other words, you're humble. You're not going to boast,
They
right?
won.
And part of it, I'm told that you went to Canada.
No, I didn't go to Canada.
Oh, you didn't
Kim
go.
went
It's
to
Kim.
Canada.
Kim. Coming back at you with that story in a minute. So talk to me a little bit. What it means to you now to be the queen of the South in road tennis.
I am humble by the experience. It's something I've been trying to get. I want to win a championship for long as well. I've been to about 20 finals, and I've lost 19. So just really humbling to finally get over that hurdle, and I just want to work on, move on that momentum to continue winning. Not disrespect the Kim, but I want to win some too, you know?
Yes,
indeed. And so you shall, indeed, once you stay focused and keep with the game.
Yeah.
But Kim, talk to me about this Canadian trip, though.
Well, unfortunately, it's lastly first of the Queenie South.
Yes, the inaugural.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically, I didn't even know that it was played for a trip at the point in time.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Jackie was told me about the tournament. But I wasn't going to play anyhow. But then I decided I'm going to play because it was on behalf of the lady from lupus. So, but my boyfriend had passed away with cancer. I said, well, I volunteer my, you know, and unfortunately, I won the tournament.
Unfortunately.
Fortunately, I won the tournament. Okay. And so then I realized that it was a trip to Canada. So actually, I been to Canada actually came back from Monday, and it was like for 2 weeks. So gratitude to Jackie and her team for actually putting on excellent tournament. I hope she continue doing it. And basically it's for beneficial for women also because she's the only female that really trying to push female road tennis together too.
That's wonderful.
But the Canada trip now is an experience trip. It was fun. It's like adapting to different culture and what's not. So I did a little showcasing of the tennis, and they have good potential and a lot of opportunities down there in Canada.
Well, that's good to hear. So you've now become an ambassador for road tennis for Barbados. Indeed. Well done. And Jackie, well done to your team as well.
Thank you so very much. I would like to say a very special good morning to Stephen Rasgriff. I know that you're listening, you're watching. Our mutual friend was Gail Proverbs, and she told me about him, and we then started talking, and he said, well, Jackie, I will jump on board. And that is how the trip came into play, because when we first started promoting it for last year, we didn't know that that is what the route we would have gone. But Stephen has been doing marvelous work in Canada, especially with a lot of the charitable organizations and stuff like that, and exposing Canadians to the game of road tennis. He too would meet hurdles like all of us do, because Pearson, I'm sure you're aware of the mic on, mic off.
Yes.
So you get everything promised to you while the mic is on, and then when the mic off,
that's it.
Whatever. And it's not easy as well being a forthright female in a male-dominated sport. Your situations in recently whereby if you don't agree, I didn't agree with a person as their views, and they said to me, sit down and shut up.
Oh dear.
In this year of our Lord, men are speaking to women like that in regard to the fact that they have a difference of opinion. Well, you know, I ain't gonna sit down and shut up. You know that. But we really need to rally around, and we can't do it without the men. We just want the men to come on board and assist us, the women, in whatever sport it is, because it's not only a challenge in road tennis. You know what I mean? So yeah. So there's so many others. So far for Queen of the South, it was the second year, and there were not behind the scenes. You would have issues, obviously, when it comes to planning. But I also want to use this morning to reach out to those other females there, because it is a decent tournament, I must say. You have the testimony here for the ladies, from the ladies, and we would want to see more women taking advantage of this opportunity to make sure that they can showcase what they skill, because they play every day, you know. So we would want to encourage persons. Yes.
Yeah. So quickly, very quickly, how can they contact you to engage with the club?
Okay, no problem. My number is 250-5820.
Say like a biker again. 250-5820.
And that's the number you can reach me, and I'm open to have the conversation. Right. Garrison Historics, we're located in the Garrison Historical area. For those of you who are abroad and watching this broadcast this morning, whenever you come on island, make sure you come and pay us a visit. You'll have a wonderful experience. Yes, and all those females here who had not been a part of Queen of the South as yet, I would want them, let us start planning, because I do my planning from early.
All right.
Yes, definitely.
So Jackie Collis, who is the president of the Garrison Historics, indeed. Kim Holder, Queen of the South 2024, one of Barbados' best at road tennis, indeed. And Rachel Smith, who intends to keep that winning streak going for her. She is the reigning Queen of the South, indeed, and so the challenge continues. I want to thank each of you and wish you all the best with your future sports endeavors, all right?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. We're taking a break. We're back with the news in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
In the news, yet another primary school has closed early amid health and safety concerns. This time, it's the Gordon Walters Primary School, which was closed yesterday morning out of caution for the health and safety of staff and students. Communications specialist at the Ministry of Educational Transformation, Gaynell Marshall, says the Ministry of Health and Wellness advised that the school be closed to allow for investigations.
On the night of Monday, July 7th, MEDT was informed by the principal of Gordon Walters Primary School that a male student was warded at the ICU of the QEH. The chief education officer contacted the CMO for an update on the situation. The CMO advised that the Ministry of Health and Wellness would investigate and make a report to MEDT. Meanwhile, the principal of Gordon Walters Primary conducted a staff briefing this morning to update staff on the students' welfare.
Well, Ms. Marshall adds that some teachers communicated feelings of discomfort to the principal.
And choosing to err on the side of caution, MEDT closed the school at 11:35 a.m. The Ministry of Health and Wellness can confirm that it is continuing its investigation of the symptoms and other circumstances surrounding the admission of the 7-year-old boy to the pediatric ward. As per protocols and best practices, the immediate contacts have been identified and are being appropriately managed. MEDT, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and Wellness, will provide further updates as needed.
The minister is once again raising concerns about the length of time it takes for child-related cases to be heard and resolved by the law courts. Minister of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs Kirk Humphrey says they take too long and significantly impact victims, many of who only receive justice when they become adults. He raised that issue while addressing the opening of judicial training on international child abduction, the Hague Network of Judges and Judiciary of Barbados.
When I was manager of the Child Care Board, I remember then a conversation around 2002 with the then director of the Child Care Board. We spoke about the Hague Convention, but our conversation focused a lot around the time it takes for cases to be processed. It is too long. And I'm not saying that in relation to the courts only. I'm talking about the time it takes to make a charge, the time it takes to do the investigation, length of time it actually takes before the court. We've had cases where children are abused, and by the time they physically appear in court, they're grown women. And it is my view that when the court sees a grown woman who's been abused with her multiple tattoos, if she has them, or a bad attitude, what is judged is the person before the court and not the child. And that we need to have a much more child-friendly process in all ways.
Well, the Hague Convention on the Civil Aspects of International Child Abduction is a multilateral treaty between Australia and several other countries. It provides a lawful procedure for seeking the return of abducted children to their home country and also assists parents with contacting or getting access to children overseas. Minister Humphrey says the training is timely as Barbados seeks to strengthen its laws and policies to protect the rights of children.
The convention was the establishment of the central authority, which in fact is the Child Care Board. And I accept that the Child Care Board, there are certain things that we have to do to bring that into proper fruition, but the idea that they must manage, receive and process the applications on abducted children is definitely their work and work that must be done for the benefit of all children. I accept also that we must have that framework properly and legally established. I keep looking at the director. I don't mean to make her uncomfortable, but we need to have this done in the shortest possible time.
Barbados is committed to cultivating deeper ties with its Nordic partners and crafting new pathways for collaboration and growth. That's according to Minister of Tourism and International Transport Ian Gooding-Edgehill, who says Swedish travelers are among the most sophisticated and environmentally conscious in the world. He was speaking at a cocktail reception in Stockholm, Sweden. The purpose of the visit is to have strategic high-level dialogue with key airline partners and tour operators, as well as to engage new partners in the airline and tour operators industries.
The Nordic region has become an increasingly important focus of our airlift strategy. Since the establishment of the codeshare agreement between Virgin Atlantic and Scandinavian Airlines SAS in October 2024, the route between Stockholm and Bridgetown has emerged as one of the strongest performing connections within the network. This is not just a data point. It is a clear signal of demand and one that we're responding to decisively. The pursuit of direct air service from Stockholm remains a top strategic priority for the Ministry and the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc. We understand that travelers from this region prefer convenience, direct access, and smooth travel logistics, and we are committed to delivering on that expectation.
The minister adds that Barbados is continuing to work with us trusted airlines to broaden access across the continent.
The return of KLM Royal Dutch Airlines to Barbados this October will introduce 3 weekly services from Amsterdam, significantly boosting seat capacity and regional connectivity. This service, paired with a long-standing partnership with Condor, which provides seasonal service out of Frankfurt, reflect a robust and forward-looking airlift strategy. Let me assure you, our engagement with the European market is not casual. It is focused, data-informed, and long-term. Europe has always held strategic significance in Barbados' history and landscape. In 1995, we welcomed over 70,000 European visitors. While that number declined over the decades, the BTMI's mandate is to reclaim that market share, and our efforts today are now showing encouraging signs of growth.
To sports now, the successful Barbados NACAC junior track and field athletes are back from Nicaragua, and Mar Goodrich Boyce reports.
To the tune of top band music, Team Barbados made a grand entrance through the arrival hall this morning to loud cheers as the junior athletes returned home after stellar performances at the NACAC Under-13 and Under-15 championships. Proud parents and fans gathered at the Grantley Adams International Airport to welcome the team in a fitting way. Among the athletes was Allen School's rising star Rajada Hines, who won silver with 4,340 points in the Under-15 heptathlon. And she was all smiles for our cameras.
This weekend was a great weekend because it was filled with personal best, upstart, shot put, but I don't really mind because I got the record I wanted to get, and it was a massive PB compared to last week Sunday and this Sunday. Also, I PB'd in long jump. It was a massive PB in the 60 meter, going from 10.15 to 9.75.
Natari Levine, Janae Belgrave, and Alex Jones-Eiffel were also proud of their exploits.
I probably could have medaled more, but we work on it positive. I didn't feel good, and I thought I could have had a good chance of coming first in a long jump, but I hurt my back on the last jump.
I feel really good to have all these medals around this night and to be representing my country at this very young age, and I'm very proud of myself. Competition-wise, it was hard and still easy at the same time. I made sure I listened to my coach's instructions and do what I had to do and just put my best foot forward.
My performance was good. I thought I could have done a little better, but it is what it is.
Head coach and team manager Nakisha Edie had high praises for the squad.
Once these children are cared properly, this development stage where they're at right now, at the NACAC stage in multi-event, it shows versatility. It also shows that these children are going to grow into something stronger because now you're developing different muscle groups, muscle areas, different techniques, and this is going to build, they can only build on this now to show that Barbados has in the Jala excellent javelin thrower. He threw 81 meters in the ball throw. Not his best, but it was good. Jada ran 8:99, breaking the record that has stood there for years by Julian Alfred. So I'm saying that we have athletes in this group that can go on to do great things.
Overall, in the team scores, Barbados won gold in the Under-13 boys and bronze in the Under-15 girls. Anmar Goodrich Boyce, CBC Sports.
Thank you, Anmar. That's news until now. More news coming up at 12 noon on CBC TV8. We're back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
The Ministry of Youth Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m.
We're 60 minutes now after 7 o'clock. We've been telling you over the last few days about the idea of a revision of the Mental Health Act of 1990. And so there's a commission come together really, and have drafted a number of notes that they have tabled that we hope will be considered to help with the amendment of that Mental Health Act of 1980. Note the year, 1980. I was still a little boy. And so naturally, it needs to be updated. The commission was commissioned to do so, and so we now have the notes. We've shared with you the web address health.gov.bb. That's where you go. If you scroll down, you'll see those notes, because there's a public consultation, there's a public session, a forum for you to engage as well. And so we'll remind you that it is very close and where it shall be. But that commission did their work. Now it's for us to do our work, which is to feedback, to share our points of view. All of it together will help to inform the reformation of that Mental Health Act of 1980. Joining me this morning to talk a little bit more about it from the perspective of children and adolescents is psychiatrist Dr. Sherry-Ann Catwell. Dr. Catwell, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us. And I said to her, stunning color. Love the color in the morning. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
What do you call that? Salmon?
Yes, salmon.
I got that right?
Yes, you did.
Okay, great. She wears it well indeed. And so we're looking now at how this new act deals with children and adolescents. And oftentimes, because they're the helpless one in our community, we tend to make laws for the adult. Yes. And we forget that within all of this and the dynamics of life, they're children who also need protection. Was that what led to some of the conversations that ensued around them?
Yes. So the Act recognizes children and adolescents as a vulnerable group. So it ensures that they receive age-appropriate, culturally sensitive, and trauma-involved care. And it protects their rights to make decisions about their care with developmentally appropriate consent procedures. So what we try to do is to speak to children in a simple, clear, concise form to ensure that they're well informed so they will be better able to make appropriate decisions about their care. And the Act prioritizes treatment in the least restrictive environment. So when I see children and adolescents who present with mental health issues or psychological issues, my first aim is not to admit them to hospital. If they could be treated at home in the care and comfort of their home or in their communities, that is the priority. Unless there are circumstances whereby I have concerns with respect to their safety, of their environments, or if they're at risk of harm to themselves or others, then I would consider admission to an inpatient mental health facility as a last resort.
But they have no authority to say no.
Well, what we try to do is have the children involved in their care. So my aim is not to be paternalistic, like, do this is the care, you have no choice. We educate and sensitize the children about the challenges that they're having and why we think that the appropriate care is the best interest and it is deemed fit for them at the time.
Do you often get resistance or buy-in when you try to explain to them that we're trying to help?
Oftentimes we do get resistance. I would say most times we get resistance. And I have children also. So I understand the hesitancy to have my loved ones be admitted to an inpatient psychiatric facility. But what we found is once you're empathetic, you communicate, it's all about communication and how you do it. And we find that we get better outcomes.
I think a lot of the resistance stems from what they perceive to be the stigma that might flow therefrom. So no one wants to be noted as having gone through the psychiatric hospital. And so therefore you don't see it in the same way when you attend at the general hospital for the treatment of a cut or any laceration, for instance. And so trying to make that very clear. How do we as a society begin, you think, to treat people who are presented for conditions with their mental health?
Yes. So it's all about sensitization and education about mental health. We have a lot of stigma, as you said, and negative perceptions about treatment. And What we try to do is educate persons from at a young age. So what the Mental Health Commission, what we have been doing is going into the communities at the primary level, in the churches, the community centers. We have been liaising with teachers, pastors, all the peer support groups to educate persons about what signs to look out for if children or at-risk youth are struggling, so that once persons are educated about it, then their perceptions, they would improve and they will be more accepting of care.
I know part of what they have been given in the notes, the draft notes, would be to return a lot of the rights to the patient.
Yes.
As opposed to it being state mandated almost.
Yes.
Is the same going to apply with the children or to the parents of the children?
Definitely. So we recognize that parents and guardians play a vital role in the treatment process. So the Act mandates that parents and guardians are informed, they are consulted, and they're involved in the care decisions for their child once they're in the best interests of the child, unless doing so poses harm or violates their right to confidentiality based on their maturity level. So the Act is not to exclude parents or children from their care. We want them to be involved, because what studies show is that when parents and the children are more involved in their care, you have better treatment outcomes. And again, that is communication, what they understand about the illness. And once they're able to trust you, then they're more accepting and more involved in the treatment process.
So one solution doesn't fit all, one.
Yeah.
Two, when we talk children, there are a range of ages from the very young to the adolescent, as in teenage, 19 years old, for instance. And so is the approach going to be different in that spans of ages?
Right. So we cater to the developmental needs of the child based on their age, at whatever age. Because a child at 3 might be more educated, or they may be more advanced than a child at 5 years of age. So we cater specifically to the developmental age at the time and their maturity levels. So it's not one size fits all. And we ensure that our units they meet the appropriate milestones and developmental age, so that we will be better able to cater to these children, to their educational and emotional needs.
Have you given I'm glad because there are learning deficits with some children.
Yes.
But there are also other physical deficits, because there are people of different abilities.
Yes.
And so have you given consideration in the Act how to treat to those who, whether it is deaf, blind, whatever?
Definitely. So our institutions are catered to whatever physical, psychological, or mental illness. And also culturally, we cater to different cultures. So yes, we do have mechanisms in place to address whatever is there.
All right. I can imagine for a parent, I've just institutionalized my child, my loved one. I've released them to the care of a doctor who I trust to be able to do so. But then at the same time, you hear the stories of what some would want to call mistreatment.
Yes.
And so you want to be comfortable as a parent or a loved or guardian that your child who you've just released to someone to take care of will not be mistreated. What kinds of protections have been built into the conversation around the amendments, you think, that would assure the parent that they've made a good decision?
So we do have protections in place for the treatment of these minors in inpatient mental health facilities. So, for example, minors are treated, they're housed separately from adults. We also ensure that they have frequent follow-up reviews. They have rights to visitation, education. This is both the parents and the child about their illness and their treatment plan. So we keep them up to date along the whole process, and we keep them informed. And we also ensure that the treatment facility is child safe and also child friendly. And the Act mandates oversight to prevent any abuse or neglect to these children.
Good.
All right.
Good. That is fantastic to hear. I know you're thinking the same as me, folks, but we'll take a break here. When we come back, I have other questions for Dr. Sherry-Ann. We'll talk about it right after.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on CBC TV 8. Don't you miss it.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV 8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
26 in a minute, half minutes after 7 o'clock. Tight tongue, I know. But nonetheless, we're looking at the Mental Health Act and its reformation. The Commission has made a draft series of notes, and so they want you folks to go and get familiar with what they're suggesting. And in getting familiar, then we want to invite you to an open session coming up where you can share your thoughts. This is for all of us. The information is right there. Look at your screen. It says go to www.health.gov.bb and you look for the Draft Mental Health Legislative Notes website. That's where you go. You look for those notes and read, because within all of our households or spaces where we relate, there are people who are struggling with some degree of mental health illness. And so so you become a lot more empowered, because now you can think of others and make contributions to that reformation as well. We want it to be a fit for whole of society. And so whole of society needs to have its voice heard in the end, and that's what this is all about. The Commission has done its work, they've given some notes, and they want you to look at it now and see whether they're on the right path to meet the needs of our changing society. Reforming the Act of 1980. I hadn't even started I had started secondary school, but I hadn't even graduated from secondary school yet. So that was developed then, and now, big old me, we want to be able to be a part of the change as it goes indeed. So Dr. Sherry-Ann Catwell, who's a psychiatrist, is sitting with us as today we look at how the Act involves children and adolescents. And that's what we're talking about. Looking at those children from very young to their teenage, at the top of their teenage, which is 19 or thereabouts. And so you've given us the guarantee, Dr. Sherry-Ann, that the Act allows for the involvement of the child, who is the patient, and the caregiver of that child, so that there's an agreement. But the medical doctor has a role, which is you, in terms of helping to help come out with a safe decision for the child. So it's a relationship we're building here, we're fostering, where before it probably didn't exist, where decision taken, I call it incarceration, but inpatient you become. But no, it's a lot more collaborative. It's putting the power back in the patient's hand. I want to talk a little bit about how the community should treat this, and how does the community begin, not just rebuild itself to be able to accommodate the children who have had some level of treatment for mental health conditions, but how do we begin to find mechanisms to be able to spot when the child is struggling?
Yeah, so that is a very good question. The Act promotes integration of mental health services into the community. So what we aim to do is to allow persons in the community to be able to recognize certain signs of when their child or loved ones are struggling or having challenges, because early detection is paramount to early intervention. So over the last couple of weeks and months, what we have been doing is a lot of educational sessions in schools, in the community, to see what signs to look for. There are a lot of red flags. For example, if you have a child who is oftentimes outgoing, talkative, but all of a sudden you see that they're more withdrawn. Say they go to church, you find they're not smiling, no eye contact, they're more withdrawn. Ask them, is everything okay? Simple questions like that. I'm not expecting you to, be a psychiatrist or to be a doctor, but simply asking them, what is happening? Is everything okay? How are you feeling? Let them talk about how they feel. And if you realize that they're struggling in any way, let them go to get help. This could be informal, be it the pastor, the counselor. Then we have the informal services, and then they have formal services, which could be like the doctor, the psychiatrist, the psychologist. So yeah, just early detection and recognizing the signs or the flags, that is important.
And in recognizing those signs and flags, we build in sensitivity.
Yes.
Because now we realize it's a situation the child is struggling with. We see this little boy running up and down, knocking things over.
Yes.
I think he's very active. He's fun and very active. That's me, because I love those kinds of children.
Yeah.
But another will look at that child and think, something wrong with you, or your head, you can't hear. You know, and you drop those kinds of comments, which can sometimes for a child be so unkind.
Definitely.
And it's just a symptom of something else happening.
Yeah.
And it's for us to be sensitive enough to spot when that occurs and to be able to understand what is at hand here.
Yeah.
And to be able to recommend perhaps to the caregiver what needs to be done. And so getting it right. Would this new reformation of the Mental Health Act require, you think, a lot more public engagement so that we have a greater understanding of what we're dealing with?
Definitely. Definitely. So integration at the community level is very important.
But how do you see that being played out?
Well, we do it a lot. We go into schools, churches, we do it a lot. And I found over the last couple of years is that the public is more receptive to mental health, especially with their children. And, you know, they want to learn more. They're interested in learning about it. And what I found was that persons are more, especially the young people, the young parents, they're more keen, or they want their children to access mental health services before they actually have struggles. So they don't wait for something to happen. They bring their children for any psychological checks or any mental health checks. Yes.
Barbados is doing this?
Yes, that has been happening a lot.
That's fantastic.
Yes, the same way how you take your child if they have something wrong.
Dentist.
Yes, to get the checkup. Yes, that has been happening more.
That is good to hear. That's good to hear. But from your practice, because we're talking with children and adolescents.
Yes.
How young generally would you see sometimes children being presented with concern?
I get calls for children as early as 3 years old or 4 years old. Yes. Yes, with struggles. Yes.
And a lot of this is not necessarily because of substance. It could be that they're just not handling life as competently as we would want.
Yes, and sometimes it's simple things that need to be corrected. For example, like for breakfast, if the parents give the children a lot of sugar, it might cause the children to be really active all morning. So simple interventions that might need to be changed to help improve their behaviors. So when I see children acting out, you know, you hear people saying, "Oh, that child bad behaved, they're wicked."
Yes.
I see it as a child crying out for help. Something is happening. So you need to investigate to see what is happening, because sometimes it's something very simple that could be corrected. You know, give them the appropriate breakfast, right? Don't have them sitting for such a long period of time because they have short concentration spans. So simple things may just need to be adjusted. So yes, we see children from as young as 3-4 years of age.
And you're right. I mean, it comes back to our very first conversation this morning, which was looking at the family.
Yeah.
The family needs to be empowered and educated. Those are the 2 E's I'll use this morning.
Yeah.
To be able to know how to respond when they're met with these kinds of challenges in the house, whether it is a very young 3-year-old or a 19-year-old.
Yes.
Because as they grow up, they'll challenge you. And that is not a sign of their madness or mental health at all. But to be able to handle those situations, it's difficult. And so the need for families to be adequately prepared.
Yes.
The community is one thing, but the nuclear family needs to have that kind of intervention.
Yes.
Do you recommend that families do more than simply just listening to our conversation here, but to actually reach out to someone to say, come counsel us. Let's talk a little bit more about this.
Definitely. Because I often make the joke with my parents. They never taught me. They never prepared me for motherhood. And, you know, I don't know how to take care of my children. I was landed with a baby and I don't know how to manage them. So, so families, sometimes they may need help because we were never taught how to raise a child. It is difficult.
Furthermore, to spot mental health challenges.
Exactly, exactly. So yes, you should always go for help. We have Parados. This is in Country Road.
Yes.
They have family counselors there to help guide you, and parents also to educate the parents on how to bring up your child based on their developmental level and age.
So folks, it's really quite simple. Just head to the website health.gov.bb, read those notes, because coming up in a matter of days, there's an opportunity. Let's look at it right there on your screen. That's what you will see at the landing page. And you scroll as we're doing right now, and just come in with me, go with me, folks. When you do this, come down, you'll see it. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's keep going. And you will see at what point those notes are. And when you find those notes, then you begin to read more about those notes. And in knowing those notes, then you come and join us in a public discussion that's coming up very soon. I believe it's next week.
Next week, yes.
Next week. Do you know those details? Where and
I think
when?
it's at the Common Mare School.
Right.
Yes, on the 16th of July.
Correct.
I think it is. Yes.
She passed the test. On the 16th of July at the Common Mare School in the auditorium is where we can all come and we lend our perspective on this. We don't have all of the questions. We don't have all of the answers. Perhaps you do.
Yes.
And that's why it's open to all of you to come and really sit and share, because our society is challenged more and more every day with people who are exhibiting signs that we struggle with. And sometimes it's mental, sometimes it's other. And so Dr. Sharian says sometimes it's just a matter of how we eat that needs amending. But when it becomes a whole lot more serious, what are the rights of the patient? What are the rights of the caregivers? And how can we help? How can we help? That's the whole purpose of all of this. But built into that also is a tribunal where the patient can appeal the kind of care. And I know that one of the discussion points, Dr. Sharian, was the length of time, how it's now really shortened. There it is, mental health care. That's what we're talking about. All of that is what you'll see on the site. The length of time for treatment, whereas before you would sign off on a year, now you don't sign up for that long length of time, because we want you to return to your community to rehabilitate as quickly as possible.
Yes.
And the same would apply for our children and adolescents, right?
Yes.
That's a really good recommendation, I think. A lot of people go, yes, indeed. And so, we're looking forward to seeing you on the 16th of July in the hall at Combermere School for that discussion, looking at the notes coming out of the commission, looking at the reformation of the Mental Health Act of 1980. It is significant, and it's significant that you do turn up. It's very, very important that you do turn up to be a part of it indeed. But we remind you as it goes indeed. So take a look at the notes, specifically as it relates to children and adolescents today. If you have met with a challenge with your child or your adolescent in your household, get to understand how you are now more empowered to help your child to overcome some of the challenges that they've met with. And so, Dr. Sharian, good to meet you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
I wish you well.
Thank
in
you
all
so
that you
much.
do. You're very welcome.
Okay.
We're taking a break here. We're back in a moment.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray microbiome probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
Week after week, Scald presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations. Lifestyle.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 20 and a half minutes now to go to 8 o'clock. Good morning and happy birthday, by the way, to Ashley Harris. Ashley Harris is my niece. She's celebrating her birthday today. Ash is my girl. Ash has a personality very, very similar to mine. So, you know, we get all famously. And so, Ashley, I hope you have a lovely, lovely today as you celebrate your birthday. Another one of those milestones. She's doing so well. She is doing so well. She's very focused and she knows exactly what she's about to achieve and she is achieving. And so we celebrate her as a family today. Ashley Harris is her name. All right, some riddles. I'm still waiting on your call, by the way, so you can call me now, if you think you've worked out the answer to the unanswered riddle. The riddle is, what peels like an onion but still remains whole? I'm still waiting on a correct answer to that. If you think you've discovered that new answer, if you think you've stumbled upon it, if you think you want to challenge me on your answer, no problem, call me now. 228-5562 or 228-5563. So what do you think is the answer to this riddle? What peels like an onion but still remains whole? What is that? What is it? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Let me grab the moment to remind you of today's audition for dancers and singers. If you can dance and sing, then today's audition is for you. You get to the NCF for 3, that's when registration starts. The audition starts at 4 o'clock, and good luck to all of you. Good morning, hello.
Good morning.
Hey, how are you?
I am well. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well as well. Thank you for asking. You've had your breakfast?
Just a glucerna shake so far.
Oh, really? Is that how you start your day generally?
Yes.
Do you keep your glucerna in the fridge or out of the fridge?
In. I don't want to get, have to pay a visit to the bathroom.
You don't want to have it curdle.
Right.
I thought you like cold beverages, man.
Huh?
I thought you like your things cold.
Yeah, so I keep it in the fridge.
All right, fair enough. And is that your supplement for a meal?
Well, it depends. If I'm heading out, I'll probably use something light.
Mm-hmm.
Right. In addition to that.
So you're not heading out today?
Yes, I am.
So you'll have something else, right?
Yeah.
Just to hold you.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Bread?
Preferably not, but most likely.
I know. That's why you're laughing, because it's one of the easiest things to reach for. But you know, in the heart of hearts, the flour thing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it's convenient.
Yeah.
It's convenient. I get it. What do you eat eggs?
Yes, I do.
How do you like your eggs?
Bacon makes everything better, regardless of what people say. Bacon.
You're talking to a fella like you, girl. I'm just like you. Indeed.
I know.
All right. What do you think your answer is?
A lizard.
And why do you think so?
Because you said it's in the house. It's not a centipede. It's not a cockroach. It's not a spider. Couldn't be an ant. It's a lizard, and I can't explain it.
Fair enough. I like you. You're my kind of girl. You're absolutely right, by the way. It is indeed a lizard.
Yeah, said women run from it, so.
Yes.
Not me. I don't care.
You kidding?
I know lots of women who run from them.
Listen, have you seen there's some very shiny, dark-skinned ones?
I have only seen them outdoors, not in the house.
You've seen them outside, right? I came home one day, dog tired, and as I was making my way to the bedroom, I saw one in the house because I left the door open, right?
Oh.
You know me. Well, you know me. I thought the two of us cannot exist in this space. We cannot exist in this space. So one of us has to go.
One of those, I would have to get the something to kill them.
But listen to my story. We can't exist in this space. So I'm thinking, all right, one of us has to go. You have to go, lizard. And I stepped away to get us some spray, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I walk back to look in the bedroom, I can't find the lizard.
Oh, no.
Yes, oh, no. And so I gave it some moment because he has to surface. He knows I'm here now, so we're going to have a game. And the next thing I know, I saw him on the bed. Then he jumped on the laptop, and then he flung to the ground, and I am spraying my life away, shut the door, and then I opened the door and peeked back in, and my man saw me. So I went down the end of the house to the other end of the house, opened the front door, and said, okay, he will see the light, he will find his way out. No, my man revved up and darted towards me. It was me? Oh, boy. But
Too
he
much
got
drama,
upset.
Pearson.
Too much, I'm telling you.
Pearson, you are bigger than the lizard. Why are you afraid of the lizard?
All right, you come and meet him. Come and meet him. You will see. Not me and them things. I don't like them. He was fast and ferocious. He went outside and I sprayed him with one of those sprays that, you know, you would spray around your house for the other insects, like 7. And he bawled. But he had to go.
If you use things like peppermint oil and things like that, it will usually deter things coming in.
Different creatures nowadays, girl.
Well, that's true.
Peppermint.
He's on steroids now.
Got that right. Peppermint mild. But thank you for calling, all right?
You're welcome. Have a good one.
You do too. You do too. Yes, y'all can laugh at me all you want. I don't mind. Me and the lizard in the house and a race. He won the race. He had to get outside though. All right. Next riddle for you. I roll with 4 paddles, but never leave home. I roll with 4 paddles, but I never leave home. So what am I? Easy, easy, easy. I roll with 4 paddles, but I never leave home. What am I? 228-5562 or 228-5563. I know this is giving a headache to my production crew. Mr. Ruel Ford is struggling because when he thinks he knows the answer, he tells me in my ear, but he's struggling, poor fella. So I roll with 4 paddles, but never leave home. What am I? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Don't forget, Carry Festa 15 is in Barbados in August. And so for the opening and closing ceremonies, we're looking for dancers and singers to come by to audition today. And of course, if you can do dance in ballet, jazz, modern, whatever your ability is, and you have the ability to sing, then you need to show up to the auditions today at the National Cultural Foundation. But you need to get there for 3 to register, and then auditions will start at 4 o'clock. Oh, Don Lisa Canley can't wait to see you and your talent on display indeed. So come down, show what you can do. Whatever age, from 14 right up, and we'll be happy to see you participate. Good morning, hello.
A blessed good morning to you, Pearson. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. A blessed good morning to you as well. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Oh, you're very well. You've said your prayers already.
Of course I did.
And how long in the morning do you spend on your knees praying?
Well, I just lay down in my bed and I just pray. I just start at 2 o'clock.
What?
2.
You start to pray at 2?
Yes, my morning devotion.
From 2 o'clock until what time?
I was here till about 3.
For a whole hour?
Yes, please. And then I send off the devotion to my friends.
Oh, very nice. And this is something you do every single day?
Yes, please.
For 1 hour?
Yes, please.
Who taught you to do that? Did you see your mother do it?
My mother and my cousin, Odessa Boyne.
Aha! I know now the connections here. I wonder if Sonia is watching. Do you think so?
I believe so.
I'm sure she is indeed. And this is in Nevis, by the way. And so this is what you
Margaret.
do. This is Margaret, yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, Michael Sobers, right?
Yes, please.
There we go. Good to hear you, Margaret. How's Mummy?
She's fine and okay and good in health.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful indeed. Good to hear you.
Yes,
and so here we are now. Do you have an answer for me?
A pineapple.
Wrong.
And I would like to say a special good morning and happy birthday to Kellyanne Gooden of Parshland Christchurch, and it's coming from her daughter Janelle, and that is Michael Sober's daughter.
All right. Thank you, Margaret.
You.
Okay, bye-bye.
Enjoy your day.
You too. Good, all right. I roll with 4 paddles, but never leave home. What am I? And it's not a dog. I roll with 4 paddles, and I never leave home. What am I? 228-5562 or 228-5563. You call me and you tell me. What do you think that answer is? I roll with 4 paddles, but I never leave home. But I'm rowing with 4 paddles. So where am I going? I never leave home. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
I'm good, are you?
Oh, I am well. You are here because you think you can beat me.
Yes, I do.
You think so?
I know so.
All right. What's your first name and where are you watching from?
My first name is David, water from St. Philip.
David of St. Philip. Oh, David, you know he slayed Goliath.
Yes, I did.
Is that your thinking that you could slay this Goliath right here?
This Goliath there, yeah.
Goliath laughed at David the way I just laughed at you. I wish you well, David. What do you think the answer is?
A turtle.
I vexed with you, David.
I know you will.
David, how could you come and slay this Goliath just so, man? That's not fair.
Yeah, because the turtle always walk with his house on the back.
Yes, yes, indeed. You're absolutely right, David. Well done. No, what I'm going to say, I'm going to upset the women now. It takes a man to get it right, right?
A David.
A David. All right, David. Thank you very much, man. All right, good man.
Have a good day.
You too, you too. David got it right. It's a turtle. A turtle is the answer. I'm not done with you. I am not done with you. So here's your other riddle. I am the only bug you can play as a sport. I am the only bug, B-U-G, that you can play as a sport. What am I? I am the only bug you can play as a sport. What am I? 228-5562 or 228-5563. I wish you well. I am the only bug you can play as a sport. What bug is that you can play as a sport? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Call me and tell me what you think. I am the only bug you can play as a sport. What is that bug? A bug. You fill the studio with some people of different strange thinkings, and this is what you get. A bug. I am the only bug you can play as a sport. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, I have.
Don't jump to the answer. Don't jump to the answer. Let me talk. Let's talk. How are you doing today?
I am very well.
Oh, wonderful to hear. Who's calling?
Beverly.
Beverly. How are you doing? Beverly, what are you doing now, right now?
Right now, I am getting ready to get in the shower.
Oh, Bev. Let's say you tell me to ask the question. Beverly.
Yeah?
You listen, you have no idea how my mind works, eh?
Yeah?
No idea how my mind works. All right. So Beverly,
how is your mind working now?
Not me. So listen, are you going out or you're staying in?
I'm going out.
You're going out. You're leaving home shortly?
Shortly, yes, please.
Someone else will remain at the house. Say yes.
Pardon?
Someone else will remain at home. Say yes.
No.
Beverly, security.
Security.
Right. So yes, someone will be at the house.
So, yes, someone will be at the house.
Good girl, good girl. You going far or you're not going so far?
Not too far.
Oh, so you're walking?
No.
You're taking the bus?
I'm driving.
What kind of car do you drive, Bev?
A Nissan Kick.
Nissan Kick. Well done, Beverly. This is one of the latest models?
Yes, please.
Sweet. Do you like it? Do you like
I love it.
Why?
It has so many safety features. Lane assist, all directions.
Wow.
Oh, it's so sweet.
That is good. And you bought that for those safety features?
Oh, yes, I bought it. I bought it mainly because of the height. I don't want a very low car. No, I can't get into a very high SUV.
So you're a mid-sized girl?
I'm a mid-sized person.
You're 5'7".
No, I'm short.
You're tiny.
No, I'm short.
Then you need a mini. Beverly. You're laughing. All right, Beverly, what's your answer?
A cricket.
A cricket. Sure? You're absolutely certain?
Absolutely certain.
Is there any other sport that carries the name of a bug?
I can't think of anything, no.
So how did you come up with the word cricket?
Because you say bug that can be played as a sport.
And why did you come up with cricket?
West Indian, the first thing you're going to think of is cricket.
Football.
Which bug you know named football?
All right, Bev, go and bathe. You're absolutely right, okay?
I know I had to get it today before I leave home. You can't stop me twice.
You are so persistent.
Not in one day.
You got that right.
One day. Perseverance. Perseverance.
Well done, Bev. Well done.
All right.
All right,
you
sister.
You have a wonderful day,
You too. You too.
All
Getting
right.
good.
Bye-bye.
Getting good. All right, good.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Do I have to take a break? Or I think I have to take a break. Because I have more questions, nonetheless. So what should I do? All right, I'll take a break, and when we come back, if I have time, I'll give you another one. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, I want to give you one more. I have 3 minutes with you. Come on. What animal can jump higher than a house? Ha, got you good. This one will probably be your homework at the end of the day. What animal can jump higher than a house? What animal is that can jump higher than a house? Do you think it's possible? Do you think it's even possible? What animal can jump higher than a house? What animal can jump higher than a house? That's it. 228-5562 or 228-5563. If you can't get it today, you know I'm going to break back tomorrow. So what animal can jump higher than a house? Call me now. Don't forget to tune into our radio stations. We're continuing to play you the hits of the season as we continue to play the music of Crop Over 2025. So tune in today for that and a whole lot more right here on TV8 as well. This morning, as a matter of fact, at 8:30, is Soca Avenue. You can watch it on the Instagram page of 98.1 The One or on the Facebook pages of the CBC and see just what's happening from the studio 98.1 The One for Soca Avenue, and then later you'll see it right here on TV8 as well. So what animal can jump higher than a house? What animal can jump higher than a house? I'm ignoring the noise. What animal can jump higher than a house? Do you all know? 228-5562 or 228-5563. What animal can jump higher than a house? Don't forget tomorrow's Q in the community. Tomorrow's Q in the community, so get ready for Q Day tomorrow. Folks, I'll remind you tomorrow just where you're going for that indeed. But quickly, you only have seconds, folks. What animal can jump higher than a house? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Good morning. Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good too.
Wonderful. Your name or where are you watching from?
This is Sharon, and I'm watching from St. Michael.
All right, Miss St. Michael, what's your answer?
My answer is that any animal can jump higher than a house because a house cannot jump.
So because a house cannot jump, that means it can jump over a house?
Yeah, you didn't say over the house. You said what animal can jump higher than a house, not over the house.
Can you see an elephant jumping higher than a house?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, if you insist, but you're right. Thanks, Cheryl. Have a good day.
You too.
All right, bye-bye. She's right. She's absolutely right. Folks, that's it for today. Remember, shift your focus. Shift your focus. Make today the best it could possibly be. My little crew joins me in saying to all of you, have a terrific day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.